Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Daddy and I welcome you all to another episode of our podcast Unspoken, where we speak to our heart's content. Okay, so I'm doing this after a really long time. I'm sorry, I have been really busy and I couldn't work on any video or a podcast episode. But I'm back today with a song review. This is more like an interpretation, So the song that I'm going to talk about today is The Loneliest by the band Måneskin. As some of y'all know, I am a fan of Måneskin and I have been a fan since last year. And I really love to listen to their songs. They are so beautiful and some of them are so deep and symbolic. And I especially love their rock ballads. So The Loneliest is a rock ballad. And if I'm not wrong, it's the only English rock ballad they released. The rest, I think there are 4 others: Ventani, Coraline, Le Parole Lontane, and Torna Casa. They are all in Italian. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the interpretation. I really love the song. I love the music video as well. Now, first of all, these are all my interpretations and your interpretation might be different from mine. Also, I'm going to talk about my interpretation on the song first, then I will go to the music video. Now, before we start, I would like to mention that, Damiano recently mentioned in an interview where he said that the song is inspired from Peaky Blinders, where there was a part where Tommy was writing a letter and he wrote "in case of death," and that's how the words came flowing, and that's how they wrote the song. And I was so excited when I heard that, because y'all know I am a huge fan of Peaky Blinders and Cillian Murphy, and it really seemed like my 2 worlds are colliding, and I really love that. Okay, so to begin with, the song talks about loss and grief and death. Now, death takes away a part that once belonged to you, and it still belongs to you, but it's not the same anymore. The part that remains with you after your loss, it is going to be a void, a wound, and an aching loneliness. The way the lyric says, "Don't be sad when I'll be gone," but at the same time, it talks about how painful it is to lose someone. It could symbolize how heart-wrenching it is for the ones who stay. The journey, it ends for the person who's gone, but the person who remains with that void, for them, it is the loneliest. It is the most painful. Now, the longing to be with the person when they are gone, it just intensified. The future seems blurred. The person loses interest in life that is left for them. All they want is to hold on to the loved one whom they just lost. Don't we all feel that way, when we lose someone? Don't we crave that we go back in time and stay there? Don't we sometimes wish we could change some things? Now, the next part might symbolize losing oneself. The person who's left behind loses themselves. They don't stay the same anymore. Here, the narrator of the story is trying to say that their old self is leaving. So, if the others miss this person's old self, then they might listen to the song once again and understand all the emotions that the person went through. Now, the next part of the song talks about the memories that they shared together. The person who's gone and the person who's left behind. The narrator is trying to say that all the good times that they spent together, does it really matter in the end? It doesn't. Because in the end, we lose all of this to death. That's how a grieving person feels, right? Like, what is the purpose of these emotional connections, these attachments, when we know it's gonna go away anyway? And then comes my favorite part, the guitar riff part. It is so chaotic. Could it symbolize how chaotic and out of control our life becomes, our emotions become when we grieve? I love how they beautifully manifested this, pain of loss through the instrumentals. And I mean, Måneskin is obviously like always so good with the instrumentals, the lyrics, and Damiano's powerful voice. It just, pulls the right strings of your heart. Like, you can feel the pain and torment in his voice. It is so emotionally charged. It's sad, it's melancholy, but at the same time, so comforting. I don't know, does it make sense? I mean, if you have not listened to the song, please go listen to it and let me know in the comments below. Now, the music video is my favorite because they used so many symbolism in the music video. So, if you have watched the music video, you would know that it started with the drowning scene and then flashback. So, basically, this symbolism of drowning, it's like you are drowning in the endless, bottomless sadness, and then all of a sudden it hits you and you get a flashback. If you see the pattern of the music video, initially it's calm and then it just goes chaotic and then again back to calm, as if that calm phase symbolizes emptiness, and then it just get chaotic when you are hit with all the emotions, and then again you go back to that emptiness. And the entire setting is funeral setting and people are mourning and it's all silent. Then there is that part where the four of them, Ethan, Thomas, Victoria and Damiano, they are looking downwards and putting the flowers on the coffin. That part where they are looking downwards, that could symbolize that there's a clear distinction, a physical distinction between the ones who are above and the ones who are 6 feet under. Like, you have a physical separation. Then it starts to rain. Initially, like just before the rain started, and the moment the rain started, Damiano, you can see he is standing stone still. When you are grieving, nothing makes sense to you. You are oblivious to the environment around you. You are not affected by anything. It seems like time is standing still. But then, slowly, the emotions, they come to you. That is symbolized by the raining. When the rain starts, initially it's slow, but then it just gets heavy. That's how the emotions, they started coming in. And then there is that part where Damiano is mid-air and he's falling and falling. That could symbolize falling into the, eternal sadness, darkness, and it seemed like it's bottomless. There is no escape. And then the part where Damiano is throwing up water. That's a symptom of drowning, right? So this symbolism of drowning that they used in this music video, I think it's genius. It symbolizes drowning in the depth of sadness, melancholy, loneliness. It's like endless and bottomless water. They actually used two kinds of symbolism here. Falling endlessly and drowning endlessly. Both used to symbolize the never-ending process of grieving. Then comes the scene where he takes out the eulogy paper from his mouth. It could symbolize that the words that you write comes out from inside you. But is it enough? Does it really express your pain enough? And this is the part of the song where he talks about how little things doesn't matter, about how the good times the person spent with their loved ones, it doesn't matter. And I think putting the eulogy scene in this part of the song is so symbolic, because eulogy celebrates the life of the person who's gone. And then you will see that it gets dark, like from light it gets darker towards the middle of the song, and then you see the part where Damiano is screaming, like the emotions are slowly hitting him. after that eulogy part where he was talking about the good times that they spent, him and his loved one. After that scene, when he's trying to talk about his feelings, the way things get chaotic after that, it's so symbolic, because the moment you try to word your emotion, it hits you like a thunder. And that's where you see the thunder scene in the music video, after which everything gets chaotic. It is then that you realize that a part of you is gone and it is so empty. And you desperately try to feel that part in, but you can't. And this helplessness and vulnerability, it hits you hard. That's what the thunder could symbolize. Then you will see in the music video, there were like so many people, and the people, they were escaping the chaotic scene. That symbolizes the moment that hits you like a thunder, like it all gets chaotic and messy, and your emotions just, they are wild. And then my favorite scene from the music video, it's so beautiful. It's like so artistic. The guitar riff part and the scene where Damiano is mid-air falling from the sky and there is lightning and dark clouds surrounding him. I think it represents the chaotic emotions that surges through you the moment you realize what you lost and what happened to you. The next part, you see that Damiano is standing all alone in the rain and thunder, and it's still chaotic. It's all chaotic. It could symbolize that when you're grieving, you feel like everything is slipping away from you in a chaotic mess. And that's when Damiano falls to the ground, the next scene, because he's overwhelmed with all these emotions. And then you slowly see again light is coming out. This transition from light to darkness to light again, it just shows how emptiness becomes chaotic and then it goes back again to emptiness. I think it actually symbolizes, like I already said, the cyclic process of grieving. Then the scene comes where his friends, Ethan, Thomas, and Victoria, they come to help him get up. This could symbolize that there will always be people who will help you, support you, but the feeling of being lost and empty and drowning in the eternal abyss of melancholy and pain, it never leaves you, which is presented by the scene where Damiano, he gets up and he leaves his friends and he goes to that place where, the coffin was there, and he drowns himself right there. This could symbolize the longing to be with the person who's gone. So this is how the song ends, like the music video ends, him drowning again in the bottomless sea of sorrow. So it symbolizes that grief is a process and it never ends. Till the day you die, you are going to grieve, and there will be times when it is going to hit you hard. No matter how long time passes, when you lose someone, your emotions are going to hit you hard. You never know when, because this process of grief, it never ends. Okay, so that was it for this episode. Thank you so much if you have made this far. I love you guys so much, and thank you for 200 plus subscribers. It really means a lot. When I first started, I didn't expect that I will get so many subscribers, so many people would watch my videos and listen to my podcast. Thank you for being my friend. YouTube is literally my dream, and you guys are helping me to realize this dream. Thank you so much. It means so much to me, and I will meet you again in another video or a podcast episode. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day.